Here are 3 quick and simple ways that you can use to connect in with your heart. As I've mentioned in so many other videos, cultivating a connection with your heart is going to lead you to a happier, more fulfilling life. And I explain all that in so many of the other videos. So be sure to check those out if you want a deeper dive and get all the juicy nuggets. For the sake of your practice daily, here are those 3 simple steps. You can do this anytime in the morning, or if you're going for a walk, or if you are just like going through it and you need to take a time out to tune in, which I would highly recommend before trying to fix the problem at hand, because I guarantee you, your heart will have a different perspective about that problem and will help you receive some guidance on how to continue forward, or at least help you shift more into the receiving mode of being able to problem solve clearer. This can also be used or embedded with other practices, so feel free to take this and maybe put your own spin on it. But let's just jump right in. Number 1, the first step is to simply place your awareness on your heart. You can do that with connecting your mind and body connection by placing your hand over your heart. And as you do that, you want to bring your awareness into that space. That's simply all you're doing. It's bringing your consciousness there. Now, I will say, don't feel discouraged if you don't feel anything, especially if you're brand new to starting a connection or developing a stronger relationship with your heart. That heart coherence is going to happen over time. When I first started, it was like a dead ping. I would ping it and nothing would come back because I had virtually not worked on a relationship with my heart at all. But over time, as I trusted it and trusted the process, it started to interact with me more, and that will also happen for you. So just simply placing your awareness there is step 1. Step 2, breathe. Be conscientious of your breathing. I'm not going to say take deep breaths, because some breath coaches I know advise against that. I guess the recommendation is more steadily and intentional breathing versus big, deep breaths and doing that over and over. But hey, if that's your jam, do what is harmonious and brings you ease. This whole process is trying to shift you into more ease, especially if you started this practice from a lot of overactivity in the mind or kind of a stressed out kind of state of being. Just want to make sure that that breath is nice and steady, comfortable, and intentional. I would also encourage more diaphragmatic breathing. Really loosen that belly and breathe in, breathe out slowly. The reason why breath is step 2 is because your breath and your heart, specifically your heart rate, are intricately connected, meaning that if you have a racing heartbeat because you're stressed out, your body is reacting to the stress in that way, your breathing is going to be rapid, which is going to continue to propel you more towards the direction of fight or flight, because your body is preparing you for battle. It's preparing you to handle a stressful situation in the way that it was intended to respond to stress. Now, we do have our modern day kind of like first world problem stress, not to minimize or diminish any stress by any means, but this category of chronic stress that we experience in our modern day life definitely pulls us away from our heart. So this is going to help you slow down that heart rate. The goal is to get it to nice and steady. Then step 3, when you're ready, is, I put in quotes, listen, because obviously you don't have an ear to your heart and it doesn't have a voice, but conceptually, meaning that you want to sharpen or fine tune your perception in that space and allow yourself to experience what it is possibly telling you. If there's any information that is coming up, that's an open invitation for you to receive. Or secondly, at the very minimum, just tune into, what does it feel like? What does it feel like in this space? Simply and very non-attachment style, explore that inner landscape. Especially when you're first beginning, you're just getting to know the landscape. It's like you're going on a trip and discovering this new country for the first time ever. You're just going to want to get the lay of the land first, and then you're going to want to build upon that. So in step 3, you're really just listening and scanning the landscape, not having any expectation of something to come up, or not having any expectation of what this experience should bring you. You really want to be more attuned to the sensations that you feel in your heart. And again, sometimes some information may come up, which is a bonus. When I go through this practice, the hand over my heart definitely helps me to like tune into the heart and place my awareness there. Because if your awareness is still occupied in your mind or on other things in front of you or around you, it's not going to work. Bring it into your heart center. And I do the breath. And then when I listen, step 3, quote unquote listen, the sensations that I get are usually very expansive. That is, at the very least, something to tune into, because that already is shifting you. You're going from stress, which is going to be contracting energy. It's going to make you think there are these limitations in front of you or problems unsolvable or what the case may be. The heart doesn't look at problems the same way. It doesn't even perceive problems. So because it's limitless, and you'll definitely want to check out some of my other videos where I break down how the heart works, all the magic behind the heart, and more. So that explains it all. I'll link it in the description box for sure for you. But basically, it's not going to perceive any problems. So with its ability to tap into the expansive frequencies of anything like love or unconditional love, peace, prosperity, abundance, gratitude, these are all expansive energies. Just tuning into your heart, your magnetic field that is radiating around you, should already produce quite a feel-good shift. Even if it's on a subtle level, that's okay. Like I mentioned, and the concept behind atomic habits is these like micro shifts over time compound and stack up to, because the heart is a muscle, like legitimately it contracts to create those electrical currents. So as you're developing this relationship with your heart and working this muscle, it will compound over time and you will see gains. It will be more sustainable. Yeah, so at first it may be a little bit quiet, little mum's the word, but then over time you will find that you're feeling more things, and you're, this is more intermediate to advanced, but you may start to be able to ask it questions and get its perspective on the situation. I will just say for myself that I never really hear my heart give me words as I do for some other guidance channels, but I have perceptions and I feel messages. So I don't know if that's just like a clairsentient thing, but in doing so, I will often reframe my thinking to be like, oh yeah, this is not this is not a problem at all. The heart is like, what problem? We are connected in with so much probability and infinite intelligence and unconditional love. Like, what is the problem? So sometimes just tuning back into that frequency that my heart has shifts me out of the problem. I'm like, oh yeah, it was actually isn't that big of a deal, and I can overcome it. It'll help me remind myself of my power. In other words, if you're getting some information and some sensations in this step 3, then feel free to explore it deeper. Feel free to, if the guidance is available to you, to continue to interact and cultivate this beautiful connection with your heart. The more you deepen your relationship with your heart, and like what I want for you is to be BFFs with your heart, to be like so close that there is hardly any distinction. And I promise you, your life is going to be so much more expansive and abundant. Remember, abundance is a lot of anything, and usually we think of that as being in the positive spectrum of love and fulfillment and freedom and all the feel-good stuff, honestly. So the last thing I will leave you with, if you are wanting to take this one step further, or if you want to deepen into it, there's this affirmation that I use every single morning. I tweaked it just a little bit for this context, but it goes something along the lines of this. By the way, the goal is to tell your heart, to give your heart permission that you are saying you can take the driver's seat. I don't need my mind to do it. Trust me. Like, you would think that if you went into your heart space, that you wouldn't be as intelligent anymore, or be able to problem solve quickly, or whatever the case is, or think quickly. But if ease and grace and flow are all things that you are valuing right now, then I promise you it is a non-issue. I have not felt like I have dumbed down since I have integrated heart more into my life. But your heart, he or she, needs to know that, or it needs to know that you give it permission to step into the driver's seat, and not only permission, but you want it to be the driving force in your life. It has an intelligence of all on its own that, in my perspective, and through going through this transformation, supersedes the need to rely on the mind. So give it a try, and definitely let me know what you think in the comments below. Drop me some hearts if you like it. That affirmation is, I call my heart forward to be the leading force of my experience. Or you could say the leading force of my life. Always being the epicenter in which all things filter into, are perceived from this space. Remember, it has that heart brain, that little brain, are perceived from this space, and also expressed from this space. So you express from the heart. You give heartfelt expressions. You can easily and readily express love to other people. Yeah, so it's a 3-part, it's a triple banger. If you know anything about me and my affirmations, I really pack in a lot of specificity, because you're having a conversation with the universe too, which is always listening to your language. So words matter. From the top, one more time, all the way through. I call my heart forward to be the leading force of my experience, always being the epicenter in which all things filter into, are perceived from this space, and are also expressed from this space. I recommend you do this at least one time daily, preferably in the morning before you start your day, to kind of tune in and check in and let the heart know it can take the lead. But then also throughout the day and as often as needed. Drop me some hearts in the comments below if this is helpful for you. I'll see you in the next video. Much love.